The biggest moments.
One man to beat up the right sideline.
See ya, baby.
99-yard touchdown run.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships.
The biggest stories from area high school sports. This is Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly. Alongside the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semro, here's Hunter Vaughn.
We had upsets. We had record-breaking nights. It was the first level of the WIAA playoffs back on Friday, and we're going to recap all of it. We'll look ahead to level 2 of the best state tournament in, I think, of any of the sports in the state of Wisconsin, as this is Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly. Zimbrick Honda has been a part of the Madison community since 1973. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations, one on Fish Hatchery Road and the other on Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires at Zimbrick Honda? Buy 3 tires and get the 4th for how much, Dennis?
$1.
That's right, just $1. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda. Dennis, level 1 of the playoffs are complete for football. We've only got 3 more games until teams are playing for Camp Randall.
Yeah, and I already lost one of my Final Four teams. Upset, Whitefish Bay, number 8 seed. Wow, what did they win? Over 31-7 over New Berlin West. And hey, Edgar, got to throw a shout out. Edgar, 21-14 to an 8 seed, scored as many points as they've given up all year.
Wow.
But and we got a sleeper team in 6, Poynette. Guess who Poynette gets next?
Oh, geez, Dennis, I don't have the 6.
It's Edgar. And they scored 53 last week. I don't think they're going to score 53 this week against Edgar, but that's one we got to keep an eye on. Edgar, the team that just, it's like that Energizer Bunny just keeps going and going. And Coach Sins is amazing up there.
Yeah, and that's why I said I was going to say I don't have Division 6 memorized. There's a reason why, and it's because of Edgar. Yeah. So it's the Edgar Invitational in my mind for Division 6. So I know I should. I know it's my job. But I really don't pay attention to Division 6 because of Edgar. And that's just how good of a program that they have, where I'm like, wake me up when we get to Camp Randall, and then I'll figure it out from there.
Well, and Belleville's, and they've had some success in the playoffs. So Belleville and Poynette are the 2 area teams. And then we'll throw one more out. New Glarus in Division 5 advanced to the level 2. And then Division 4.
Yeah, Division 4 is where things from level 1, we start to get a lot more of our area teams. A 1 seed Columbus, they did what everybody kind of expected them to do to the 2-win Brown Deer squad, 60-15. For those that are confused why a 2-win team did get into the playoffs, I like to remind everyone, I had even explained this to Corey and Wally up on the Dam Sports Show on Daily Dodge for our Beaver Dam team. Brown Deer did beat Racine St. Catharines earlier in the year. Racine St. Catharines had a bunch of suspensions, but because that was the only loss for Racine, Brown Deer got a win over an 8-win team on their playoff matrix resume. That gave them enough points to get into the playoffs as an 8 seed, but then they fell in level 1 to the 1 seed Columbus, 60-15. And another area team, and one that you and I have been watching closely all year long, the 4 seed Lake Mills, who gets now in level 2 those Racine St. Catharines Angels. They won, though, did Lake Mills over Edgerton, 42-0. So, Dennis, will you keep doing it every week? The Tyler Woleen watched. He has thrown an interception this year. Did he throw another one in this 42-0 win?
No, but he threw an incompletion. He was 14-15.
Oh, man. I mean,
yeah, and that was
40, what are we doing, Tyler?
42-0 win over Edgerton. He's completed passes to 17 receivers. 11 different receivers have caught a touchdown. He is now up to 2,471 yards, 38 touchdowns to 1 interception, about 18 yards of completion, 18.4 yards. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's going to – I know Racine St. Catharines has Lamont Hamilton at wide receiver and defensive back.
That is a game if we could clone ourselves or watch one, or I want to watch on YouTube, after I could probably watch a bunch of games on Saturday since the Badgers are off this week.
Yeah, exactly.
And that would be one I'd love to watch.
And then, too, on a Saturday, you'll actually be able to watch good football in the state of Wisconsin. If Lake Mills wasn't going all the way over to Racine to play the Angels of Racine St. Catharines for a Level 2 matchup, that we probably would have ended up covering that game, given how great that Racine team is. But we're trying to reduce a little bit of travel, so we'll talk about the game that we're going to have in a little bit here. Don't want to spoil that yet, as we continue looking through and looking back at the Level 1 results for some of our area teams as we move up to Division 3.
One more team, Evansville. I'm going to throw a shout out there. Evansville ended up winning 40-0 over Shoreland Lutheran. So they get to draw Mosinee, the number 2 seed this week. They got to go up to Mosinee. So a little road trip and see if the Blue Devils can keep it going for another week.
Yeah, we definitely will watch that as we look through the playoff bracket from the Level 1 of the football playoffs here on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly. I'm Hunter Vaughn. With me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Summerow. In Division 3, this is where we really see a lot more of our area teams from Division 3 on up. The 1 seed, the Edgewood Crusaders, they got a win over Rhinelander in Level 1. Then they'll take on the 4 seed Reedsburg, who won 49-24, but that really wasn't the story of the game. Their star running back for Reedsburg, and I worked on this. Hopefully I do this correct, Dennis. Will Mikanowicz.
I
got it right.
We'll give it a shot there.
He ran the ball 30 times for 498 yards. I didn't misspeak. 498 yards. That's an average of 16 yards per carry. He got 7 touchdowns. One of them was a 76-yarder. That was his long of the night. But as a team, they ran the ball 43 times for 532 yards. They only attempted 1 pass at Reedsburg, and they got a 49-24 win over Waterford. Yeah, this Reedsburg offense, it is so good. It's like watching the service academies because they run that wishbone offense, but it is so efficient and so good.
Yeah, his 498 yards are now second in state history. Watoma's Nathaniel, was it logging? So in 2014, he had 524. Think about that, 524 yards. There's some teams that might not get that in a season.
So I'm so glad you brought this up because I knew that. The reason I knew that was before I started working here.
You're in Berlin.
I was working up in Berlin, and even though Berlin does have a high school, we covered the Watoma Hornets. It's Nathaniel Logging.
Okay.
He did that against Wisconsin Dells.
Okay.
I was on the board that night.
Oh.
Now, it was a great performance from Nathaniel. The thing that I give a little bit of an asterisk to is that was a running clock game, and they kept him in there well late and were intentionally running plays to give Nathaniel that record.
Okay.
He still got the record. He still earned the record. I always, whenever that record gets pointed out in high school football,
you have personal experience.
Yes, having personal experience of how that game went against Wisconsin Dells, they were kind of running it up to get him that record. He still earned it, but I just want to remind people of that. Still an awesome performance for Reedsburg. Edgewood's got to watch out in this game against Reedsburg. The defense in the front seven for Edgewood is very good. This is going to be their biggest test of the year.
And they struggled against Sauk Prairie's running game.
Yep.
Wyatt Gibbs had 93 yards. I think he was up close to 200 in that game.
Yep.
And he had a 52-yarder to break that one open. So that'll be big. And, there's somebody else that runs over 400 yards. But it kind of gets lost. I know it's coming up ahead. We'll talk about him when we get to Notre Dame.
Your guy.
Yes. I got to say, Kingston Allen.
Yes.
I'm in 4 fantasy leagues. I want him on one of my teams. Oh, my God. 477 yards in 22 carries, and he had 8 touchdowns. He now sits in 3rd place on the state single-game rushing record. The Tritons had 627 rushing yards. That's 4th most in state history. And Reedsburg had 611 yards last year against Whitnall. So you can tell it's not just a flash in the pan for Reedsburg. They're going to run the ball down your throat. This is my definition of the natural running clock. And if you got a horse, you ride him, baby. And they're going to ride him. And so shout out to Will. And it's not just Will. Those 5 offensive linemen, it might be nameless right now, but everybody in Reedsburg better know who they are because he had got some tremendous blocking.
Yeah, you don't run for nearly 500 yards without 5 incredible offensive linemen. As we continue looking through the scores from level 1 of the football playoffs here on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly in Division 3, we saw an upset on Friday night. The 3-seed Sauk Prairie fell to the 6-seed Pewaukee, 31-10. That was a game that you and Jesse Nelson were on the call for. We thought Pewaukee would really give a fight. They play in that really difficult Classic 8 conference, and their record wasn't quite indicative of what we thought they were as a team. They showed it on Friday night against Sauk.
Yeah, great front 7, and one of the things Sauk did is they like to get the seams, and they want to get their quarterback, Caden Hermsdorf, in space. And they were able to keep him pretty much controlled. He ended up with 10 carries for 0 yards. They only rushed for 13. Gibbs was 13 for 13, so 23 carries, 13 yards rushing. And it was just a fantastic and then Petzold, their tight end, had he had a block to punt, had 3 touchdowns, and he had 3 sacks.
So Mr. Do-It-All.
Oh, yes. So he was our Pizza Hut player of the game, obviously.
Deservedly so. Another area team in Division 3 was Mount Horeb Barneveld. They won 31-7 over Wausau East. They advanced to level 2, or they'll take on the 6-seed Burlington, who upset New Berlin Eisenhower. And then I'll also mention, because our ESPN Milwaukee team covers them, Catholic Memorial, a 1-seed in that lower left bracket. They won against the 8-seed Jefferson 55-7 for some of the area teams or teams that we cover here across ESPN Wisconsin. On to Division 2 then. As far as area teams are concerned, we move down to that lower right bracket. We had Riley Elks Milton Redhawks, his alma mater. They fell. They were a 4-seed. Were upset by the 5-seed Pulaski 23-20 in level 1. Pulaski will now take on the 1-seed West De Pere, who's coming off a 70-33 win against Hartford. West De Pere's offense is so good. Then down in the lower right bracket, another area team for us, the Monona Grove Silver Eagles, the 2-seed winning 39-8. They'll take on the 3-seed Germantown. We'll maybe be talking about those two teams a little bit later on. But as Dennis mentioned, throughout the rest of Division 2, Green Bay Notre Dame putting up 77 points on Greenfield. That offense, they feel like the type of team where we've just got to see who they get in that level 4 draw to go to Camp Randall with the way that Green Bay Notre Dame is playing. And then in Division 1, we had multiple area teams with Madison West getting into the postseason after last year. They should have. They didn't. They draw the number 1 seed Muskego out. And Muskego won it 64-16. They'll take on Racine Case, my wife's alma mater, in level 2. So good luck to Racine Case as they take on the number 1 team in the state. The 3-seed Middleton in that same bracket, they took on Milwaukee Hamilton and won that one 63-8. Did the Cardinals. Now they just get the 2-seed Lake Geneva Badgers.
Oh, yes. And
no, not an easy draw.
With O'Grady, the quarterback, who's just running and running and running. We saw against, again, Wanakee in the state tournament a couple years ago, the Badgers' offensive juggernaut. Just, again, a running clock, natural running clock. Yep. Going to keep it moving. The word pass is a 4-letter word.
Exactly. Some more area teams in Division 1 that played in level 1 of the playoffs. The 5-seed Verona putting up 51 points in a win over Milwaukee Pulaski, and they'll take on another 1-seed in Franklin. The Sabres getting a 65-6 win. So Verona will have to go back over to the Milwaukee area for level 2. That's going to be a really difficult matchup, but we know head coach Andrew Riley for the Verona Wildcats. He's going to have his guys ready to go. That is also a tough matchup for Franklin in level 2. Verona is an experienced team. They've played in the playoffs. They've played in level 2 before. They've played good teams before. They know what to expect and what winning football in the playoffs looks like. So that is going to be a tough game. That's a game that I kind of have a sneaky maybe upset watch on for Franklin.
Well, last year Verona lost to Arrowhead with 22-21.
Exactly.
So, I mean, they can play. The question is, can they get over the hump and get that win? That would be a signature win for the program.
Well, and two, Verona's run into a lot of really difficult matchups early in the playoffs in the past. They've had schools like Oconomowoc or Marquette, these really good Milwaukee area schools who have come over here, and those are just really tough matchups to try and win in level one. I almost feel like them getting a quote-unquote easier matchup, an easier game with that decisive win in level one could be really great for them. That level of confidence of just like, all right, we won a big playoff game. We put it on our opponent, feeling confident going into a game where you have to be confident against Franklin.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll see what happens with the Wildcats in that one. And then we had and the last, Wanakee and Chippewa Falls. Well, having seen Chippewa Falls last year, it didn't totally surprise me. They were able to run the ball 320 yards rushing. When was the last time somebody did that? Badger in the playoffs. And they had an 80-yard touchdown run in that game. It was a tail-end shifts. And Wanakee had to come back from that one to win in overtime. So that's 2 overtime wins. And they always say in the playoffs you're going to have one game that you're going to have to find some way to kind of grind it out and get through. That might be the one that gets Wanakee going. But, again, not a lot of competition other than Monona Grove this year and the Badger Large. So you need to kind of get hit in the mouth a little bit to get those playoff juices going. And also one of our past UW Credit Union Student Athletes of the Week committed to Wisconsin, McCoy Smith, got to carry the ball for the first time, scored 3 touchdowns. Now that goes back to an old Pat Rice trick of got guys that can go both ways, but you're going to go two platoon until the playoffs when you want your best players out there. Did that with Molly, a tight end, a few years ago. All of a sudden he's playing defensive end. The guys are, who is this guy? Well, now teams are going, where did this guy come from in the backfield? Well, he's going to walk on as a fullback, so it's good to see him, good kid, get some carries, and congrats to McCoy. And want to keep pulling that one out. Yeah,
Wanakee winning 28-21 in overtime, but Chippewa Falls has been a tough out the last few years in the postseason.
Great program.
Yeah, that's a really great program. It feels like they're almost due for a playoff win with the way that they've been playing lately. I mentioned it earlier in the segment, but Monona Grove, Germantown, level 2. That will be our game of the week this next week. Dennis Summerow and Riley Yauk will be on the call for that game as the Germantown Warhawks will be coming over to the Madison area to take on the Monona Grove Silver Eagles in level 2. So that's the game that we'll be at. That game, our broadcast will start at 6:30 with the pregame coverage. Kickoff will be at 7 p.m. from Monona Grove High School, where Germantown will take on the Monona Grove Silver Eagles. This Friday night, Halloween night. It's going to be an awesome game.
Big boy football. This is your as you know, Barry Alvarez type of football. You know, punch them in the mouth. You're going to be going at each other. Teams are going to be flying back and forth. Both teams can run the football, and on Halloween, who knows what people are going to show up wearing for costumes or what kind of a night it's going to be. But, and again, Halloween, maybe got a bunch of upsets going around too. So we'll see what happens in level 2. But now it was pretty much chalk for most of the divisions. There was a few upsets. The big one was New Berlin West falling down. The first one. And 31-7, that was a no contest. It was, they lost on a fluke play. So, but again, we still got local teams going, and we'll see what happens next week.
We definitely will. As again, our Friday night matchup for our game of the week on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania will be Germantown at Monona Grove. Are you interested in getting individual or group lessons from some of the highest level of coaching for the baseball player in your life? Well, the GRB Academy offers individual and group lessons for players of all ages and skill levels. Visit grbacademy.com for more information. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player. When we come back, we will hear from the head coach of the Germantown Warhawks as Jake Davis joined the Dean and I, and we will talk to him next on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly.
You're listening to Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly, breaking down more from this week in area high school sports next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
The team at Midwest Financial Group are values-based financial specialists that offer full-service financial solutions. This local independent firm has been dedicated to helping people achieve their financial, tax, and insurance goals for over 30 years. Visit mfgteam.com to learn more about how they can help set up your future for financial success. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor.
Are you living with hip pain? Join Stoughton Health's Ortho Team Clinic for a free online talk with orthopedic surgeon Dr. Joseph Henningsen. He'll discuss the causes of hip pain and share both surgical and non-surgical treatment options to help you find relief and get back to an active lifestyle. The session will be held Tuesday, October 28th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Register today at stoughtonhealth.com under classes and events. Don't miss this opportunity to take the first step toward relief.
It's football season in Wisconsin and the energy is electric. Get ready to fuel up the hype with Monster Energy. With bold flavors and that legendary kick, Monster gives you the power to go all 4 quarters. Whether you're tailgating before the big game, watching with friends at home, or catching every play at your favorite spot. Because game day isn't just about football. It's about bringing the energy wherever you are. Stop by your local Piggly Wiggly to pick up a Monster Energy drink today. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast.
Every team needs captains and playmakers, and Madison and Dane County Pizza Hut locations are looking for both. They're hiring managers to lead the crew and drivers to deliver big wins and pizzas. Find part-time or full-time roles with flexible hours, plus full benefits for those who work 30 or more hours per week. Whether it's running the huddle or making plays on the road, there's a spot at Pizza Hut for you. Apply today at jobs.pizzahut.com. That's jobs.pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Is your home ready for a transformation? Whether it's a stunning kitchen remodel, a fresh new bathroom, or complete exterior makeover, WIAA Remodeling has you covered. Their expert team turns your vision into reality with quality craftsmanship, affordable pricing, and unbeatable customer service. From concept to completion, WIAA Remodeling is here for you. View what's possible at their beautiful showrooms in Madison and Wanakee and call 608-442-0034 or visit WanakeeRemodeling.com for your free estimate today.
The savings are scary good at Metro Kia of Madison this month. Get behind the wheel of a 2026 Kia Sportage for just 1.9% APR for 48 months. Only $21.47 per month per $1,000 finance. Or go electric in the 2025 Kia EV6 with a shocking 0% APR for 72 months. Just $38.89 per thousand finance. But hurry, these frightfully good offers disappear after November 3rd. Visit MetroKiaofMadison.com today.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
ESPN Madison is your home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top.
From early season showdowns to a run for the national title, hear every match this season on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Blocked by Bucky.
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball on ESPN Madison is presented by Steinhoffels and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also brought to you by Northwestern Mutual of Southern Wisconsin. The belt's been passed.
20 consecutive completions, something that hasn't been done by a Green Bay quarterback since Brett Favre in 2007.
Love takes down Rodgers. React with us right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Some people call me the Space Cowboy. Yeah. Some call me the Gangster of Love.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly continues on. I'm Hunter Vaughn. With me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Sumrow. It's now time for our Midwest Financial Group Coaches Profile. The lineup at Midwest Financial Group consists of coaches for your financial world, organizing the players on your personal team. Behind every great team is a great coach. Let the Midwest Financial Group be yours for your financial planning needs. Head to mfgteam.com to get started today. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Financial Network, a registered investment advisor. Like I said, we'll now be joined by the head coach of the Germantown Warhawks, Jake Davis, here on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly. Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly continues on. We're now joined by the head coach of the Germantown Warhawks, Jake Davis. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Now, Coach, I want to start with your squad here for this season as you head into level 2. You finished your year 7-3 overall. You had a 4-game winning streak to finish off your season. But back in September, you had a couple of one-possession losses to Hamilton as well as Brookfield Central. So I was just wondering, what did you learn from your team having 2 tight losses like that in the middle of your season?
Yeah, I think we've learned a lot. We talk a lot about, what we learned throughout. I think that's one of our mottos. We take the Nelson Mandela quote, you never really lose, you either win or learn, and our guys really subscribe to that. And, those were 2 big learning experiences for us, kind of seeing where we're at in the middle of the season there. Now, we were hampered with some injuries during that time, so we're getting guys back healthy now at the right time, so that definitely came into play there. But I think it was just a time where we had to figure out how to kind of get through some hard-fought games and kind of to band together through those times. And it really is going to bode well, I think, in this time of the season that, when we can learn to rely on each other and see that, that really will help us through those situations.
Yeah, it looks like, Coach, you got a quarterback who's last game, 102 yards passing, 180 yards rushing, Vinny Inga. You want to tell us a little bit about him and a lot of good dual threat quarterbacks out there. It seems to be that's what you got to have this year. Now you got to have somebody that can beat you with your legs too.
Yeah, and he's been having a really nice season. He's one of those that was a little banged up in the mid-season here, but he's coming back strong now. Really doing a nice job for here. And when he's able to do both with his legs and his arms, he's quite the threat for us. And he's been a leader of our team for a while now. He's been really started for us as he's been a sophomore. He had a little bit of an injury his sophomore year that took him out for a little bit there, but came back strong, had a great junior season now, and now he's kind of really getting back at it his senior year here and having the same type of season. But when you got a kid that can do things with both on the ground and in the air like he can, that's really a special kind of kid there. So it's really nice to have for us as an offensive weapon. Plus what he does is leadership for our team is huge, and galvanizing everybody and doing that kind of stuff. So we're pretty fortunate to have him.
I understand, too, you got a pretty good offensive line. You got some size there, and a couple of high guys that are going to be going on to the next level.
Yeah, we have our junior class there has 3 big cats there. Highlighted by Cole Ryder there, who's a big recruit there. Got a lot of Power 4 offers, including Wisconsin, Ohio State, some of those, and then we got a couple other Carter Gordon and Brady Moransky who are some Division I type offensive linemen there. Carter just got an IU offer there, and fortunately Brady tore his ACL this year 3 games ago. But so he's been out. He had a nice season going into this. But yeah, those guys have been really good for us. Kind of we can lean on that too. So having a quarterback like Vinny with guys that you can run behind like that has been a pretty nice little recipe for us here on the offensive side.
Well, and then on the defensive side, as we look through some of your stats for this Germantown squad, you've got 3 guys who have double-digit tackles for loss. Just talk about some of the guys on your defense that, one, are really key for your team, as well as, I guess, for the fans here in the Madison area who obviously hasn't seen Germantown play at all, what they can kind of expect from your team defensively.
Yeah, Germantown's we've been pretty known for our linebacking core and what we've had. I mean, we've got we lost a good one that's up in Madison right now, playing some good ball there, Cooper Catalano, and replacing him was no easy feat. But I think we've had some guys that stepped in, done a pretty nice job, led by John Murkowski there in the middle there. He played alongside Coop there last year, and a couple of these guys did as well. But he's done a nice job, kind of anchor that. He's got our leading tackler this year. He's one of those guys they're talking about that is kind of done a nice job spilling in there and anchoring that defense, along with J.J. Walters there. He's been an outside backer for us for the last 3 years as well, along with John there. And those two really have stepped up and done some really great things, for us is from the linebacking core, especially in, big question mark when you lose the caliber of player that Cooper was there. I know that was a thing that everybody, questions what are you going to have coming back. And I think those two have done a nice job stepping in. You're not going to really, fill shoes like that necessarily, but they've definitely done a nice job kind of dispelling some things there that are hard to do and brought back some production on that defensive side, and making some good production there as well. So
when you have a guy that like Cooper Catalano, who, you had him there just last year in Germantown, and now he's here in Madison, and he's doing great things in these first few games that he's gotten some legitimate playing time for the Badgers. What does that do for your team and your players as maybe they start talking about the future and that? Because I'm sure when Cooper maybe first came in as a freshman, probably wasn't the type of kid where you're like, maybe he'll absolutely be a D1 guy, but now they see him playing on Saturdays.
Yeah, no, it makes it exciting. It's funny. I was at the youth games, on Saturday, and it's kind of cool because my son was wearing his jersey there because he was, we was starting on Saturday, and you hear some kids, that are at the youth fields going, oh, it's really cool. He's got a Cooper jersey on. You hear that kind of thing. It's just kind of what that really brings, and you hear people rallying around the community, dreaming about being a guy like Cooper through that. That's a hometown kind of kid. It's really cool. That kind of just builds that foundation for your program and stuff like that. And to see what he's doing now, kind of that come to fruition. And he's always been that guy. And the cooler thing is that just the kind of person he was, the leadership that he brought, and just he is just a great human being. And so seeing that he's having the success, and that's awesome. That the guy that our kids now are looking up to is just a great person, is even better. Not only a great player. So it's awesome, and that's just as good for our kids to see that it can be possible to come out of Germantown, Wisconsin, and do things like that on the football field and be a great person off of it. So he's just a great role model for our kids, and it's been awesome to have that.
Well, you mentioned the word leadership, and you do some wonderful things looking back with the players, as this Gables of Germantown, and these men's lunches. And you want to talk about some of the things you've done with the team that maybe go above and beyond what parents or people might see.
Yeah, so for a number of years now, well over a decade now, I've started a leadership program, as many people do. But I think, it's one thing we take great pride in, and I really kind of hang my hat on is that, we in the off season do, twice a month I bring guys in and we talk about leadership. And well, guys, I know, it is a purpose for, our football program in a sense. Really, I do it more for our kids to make sure that they get more than just beyond the game and that kind of thing. I think it's important for our guys to get connected to the community, connected to, those character development things. And we get connected with our senior living communities in the area. The Gables of Germantown is one, Grace Commons. It's just outside of Germantown, Menominee Falls, but a lot of Germantown residents go there. We do the men's lunch where we go and sit down, have lunch with some of the gentlemen there, talk football and that kind of stuff, have some fun. Recently, we've been writing Mother's Day cards for during Mother's Day time, Father's Day cards. We bring them over there. I know that's a big hit for the residents there to get those cards for. You never know what kind of family situations they have, but they get a card from somebody thanking them for just being them and then being who they are, and it gives our kids a chance to give back and show some service. I think that's part of the overall well-being of a total leader and just person in general, and I think that brings that just complete joy to people and those kind of things, not only for the people that they're giving it to, but our kids as well. It gives that sense of purpose and belonging in the community. So it's really important for us to do that.
Well, and looking at your career, on being a coach, you played under a Hall of Fame coach, Dave Keel. You were at Lacrosse, Whitewater. The WIAC is an outstanding conference. Who's maybe a mentor or someone that got you into it? Did you always think you were going to be a coach when you were a player, or how did you kind of evolve into that?
Well, it's funny because I'll tell people I'm the son of a coach who's the son of a coach. My grandfather was actually long time ago was the GA for Woody Hayes back in the Ohio State days, in those days, and then he came out, moved from Ohio out to Cuba City, Wisconsin. Started his coaching career there, but he actually then went to Lawrence University and was actually a longtime swim coach, cross country coach. He's actually a Hall of Fame swim coach there. My dad's a Hall of Fame swim coach, which is funny. I'm a bigger gentleman, so I wasn't in the swimming with my nature that way. It might be in my history there with my family, but they were also football. My grandpa was a football coach. My dad's a football coach. He's a football coach with me on staff right now. So it's just kind of in my blood that way. So I always knew I was going to be in coaching and teaching. That's just kind of in my family. So it's kind of been there. So those two have really been big mentors for me for sure. I was fortunate enough to be on some great, in some great programs. I got a chance to be when I was at Whitewater, my playing career ended because of injuries, so I did some GAing under Bob Brezowitz, and then Lance Leipold I was with him for his first couple of years there, so got to be on those staffs. So I just was very, very fortunate to have some great examples on how to do things at a very high level and do them the right way. So very fortunate in my life there.
Well, it's so interesting you bring up Lance Leipold. A few weeks ago, we had the head coach of Milton High School, Dan Prowlin, and he was talking about how he coached under.
Friend of mine.
Yeah, and it's just, I said, it's like, normally we talk about coaching trees, but it feels like Lance Leipold, when it comes to high school coaches in Wisconsin, it's a coaching forest.
Yes, absolutely. So you got Dan. I know Ryan Kleppe, who's at Monona Grove, will be facing it with IGA with him at Whitewater. So yeah, we're all over the place from that tree. It's kind of crazy. It's fun. That's the brotherhood of this all. It's cool. I mean, we might be competitors sometime down the road in the high school ranks, but we've all got some common ground there that we come back to and like to talk about, and it makes it all that fun part of it.
Yeah, once a Warhawk, always a Warhawk, and you're a Warhawk now, right?
Absolutely. I haven't left the Warhawk Nation for a long time in one form or fashion, so it's been fun that way too.
Now, one last question. I always ask this of any coaches the first time they join us here on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly. Other than winners on Friday night, what are 3 words that you want fans to leave the game describing your Germantown Warhawks team as?
Oh, that's a good question. Wow, that's a really good one. Here's the 3 words that are pillars to our program, and I think if you were to say, if you can get this out of us, I think we've done it right. Effort, attitude, and aggressiveness are the 3 words that we always want to hang our hat on. Those are our 3 controllables. I think those are the 3 things that anybody can control in life, and that's what I always preach to our kids. So if we always have the right effort, if we're giving it our all the time, if our attitude, if we show a positive attitude, always making sure that we keep on that side of things and we're aggressive and take action in what we're doing, and you can see that through our play, then I think we've done it right. So if win, lose, or draw, if you see those things out of us, then I think we've had a successful night. So
awesome. Thank you so much for the time, Coach, and good luck on Friday.
I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Again, that was the head coach of the Germantown Warhawks, Jake Davis, as he gets ready to take on the Monona Grove Silver Eagles. This is Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly, also brought to you by Stoughton Health. They've been providing trusted care close to home, and they're proud to support the student athletes from around the area. From rehab to ortho care, Stoughton Health provides comfort and convenience locally. Visit stoughtonhealth.com to learn more today. We'll take another quick break. When we come back, we will be announcing the all-city team here on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly. These will be the 4 public schools as well as Edgewood High School, and their all-city team for high school football. That's coming up next here on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly.
More of Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly coming up next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Hey, this is Hunter. Reveal by Tacticam was created for hunters by hunters. We're the leader in cellular trail cameras, and we're committed to making every hunt smarter, easier, and more rewarding. Whether you're filling your freezer or taking a trophy buck. Head to Tacticam.com to check out the full lineup of cellular trail cameras and power management accessories and see why thousands of hunters trust Reveal. That's TACTACAM.com.
I really struggled with choosing a career path. I had so many interests and couldn't decide what to do. But I'm so glad I didn't let that stop me. At Madison College, I'm figuring it all out and making friends and connections along the way. Coming here is the best decision I ever made. My advice to others? Just take the first step. There's more to your story at Madison College.
Visit madisoncollege.edu to get started.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Planning a corporate event, private party, or team outing? Madison acts as your state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Whoa, you nailed it! Featuring 8 lanes of axe throwing, craft beer, and interactive games, plus digital target projection and scoring. For even more fun, check out their indoor backyard. 2,000 square feet of shuffleboard, cornhole, yard games, bar table games, and more. Book your corporate event or holiday party now, before their lanes fill up. Go to MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today.
Listen to Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin on 100.5 ESPN.
Homer, anything else on your mind before we let you go?
Yeah, Wisconsin football is at the Don Morton level. Dwayne Wade, I always said, when he's bad, he's good, and when he's good, he's very good. Don Morton, when you're bad, it's really bad, and even when you're good, it's bad.
Wilde and Tausch, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Gruber Law Offices, serving the people of Wisconsin for over 30 years. Call us today if you've been injured. Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Your family's safety is your responsibility, and it starts with a solid roof. When the next storm rips through and takes some of your shingles with it, call Badgerland Exteriors. Or looking to replace your whole roof but don't want to break the bank? Let the team at Badgerland Exteriors give you a free, no obligations estimate.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
This is Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly. I'm Hunter Vaughn. With me, the Dancing Dean, Dennis Sumrow. We're also brought to you by the Orthopedic and Spine Centers of Wisconsin. They have you covered with their Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Skip the emergency room circus and get expert care from the pros who know sports injuries. Walk in any Saturday from 9 to 11:30 a.m. at their location off the Beltline and get back in the game. I teased it before the break, but we will now be announcing the All-City team this year. Again, this is all 4 of the public schools here in Madison, so that will be Vel Phillips Memorial, Madison West, Madison East, and Madison La Follette, as well as then Edgewood High School. One of the awards Edgewood is not eligible for, and that is going to be the All-City Championship, because they are not in the Big 8 conference with the 4 city schools. So since they don't play all of them, they're not eligible for that one. So the All-City champion this year was Madison West, who had the best record among those of playing those other 3 schools.
But Edgewood gets the best competitive record at 8-1 now, 9-1 now in the playoffs.
Yes, exactly. So starting on the offensive side of things for the All-City Conference, the All-City team, not the conference, the All-City team. At quarterback this year from Edgewood High School, Gannon Bagstad. 2 running backs making the All-City team, A.J. Danzo from Vel Phillips Memorial, as well as Kamaria Carter from Madison West. 3 fullbacks / tight ends. They combine those 2 positions. First from Madison Edgewood, Ashton Fickle. Then Sam Olson from Madison West, and then Trey Harris from Vel Phillips Memorial. On to the wide receivers. There were 4 of them this year. Ben Morey from Madison Edgewood, Jack McDonald from Madison West, Sam Aparicio of Vel Phillips Memorial, and then again from Madison West, Quincy Mosley, your 4 wide receivers. The offensive line for the Madison All-City team, Beckett Schreiber from Vel Phillips Memorial, Hale Rikers from Madison Edgewood, Josh Douglas of Madison West, from Madison East, Josiah Hayes, and then Logan Sandy of Madison La Follette, the final offensive lineman, and the kicker this year on the offensive side, Will Kelly from Madison Edgewood. Moving over to the defensive side, a name that we've already mentioned, but on the D-line, Ashton Fickle as one of the defensive linemen from Madison Edgewood. From Madison West, Henry Miesbauer as another one of the defensive linemen. Beckett Schreiber also making it on the offensive side and defensive side from Memorial, and Sam Olson from Madison West. 2 inside linebackers, Jack Georgella from Madison West, and then CJ Mulkey from Memorial. 2 outside linebackers, Dylan Krantz of Madison Edgewood, and then Blake Adams of Memorial. The defensive backs, Malachi Gavins of Madison West, Mikey Hackworthy of Madison Edgewood, Dane Patterson from Memorial, Jamario Morgan of Madison La Follette, and then Cadel Donovan of Madison West. And finally, the punter is Johannes Hildal of Madison East. Dennis, we had a few players there who made both sides of the ball for the All-City team.
Yes, and got to see all of them on ESPN Madison this year. Ashton Fickle, fullback, tight end, and defensive end. He also made the All-Academic team. Beckett Schreiber, offense defensive lineman of the year. Going to be going to Washington State next year.
Would have been nice to keep him in state.
Yeah, and then Sam Olson, fullback, defensive end, defensive line. And then lineman of the year was Beckett Schreiber from Vel Phillips Memorial. Gannon Bagstad, Edgewood, outstanding quarterback this year, back of the year. Jesse Norris from Edgewood, coach of the year, the best competitive record, Edgewood, with 8-1, All-City Championship, Madison West, and the assistant coach of the year, Matt Kimmis of Edgewood. Congratulations to everybody. We used to have the Shriners with a banquet. We're going to talk to our next guest, find out when can we get a banquet back to honor these guys. It used to be one of the jewels of the city. And I'd really like to see these guys honored in a bigger setting.
Yeah, that is something we will talk to, as we will be joined by Austin Battaglia, the head coach of Vel Phillips Memorial. The coaches get together and figure out who is going to be on this team, the same way they do it for all conference stuff. But we'll be talking to him about this, as well as the state of high school football in the city itself of Madison. The area, we know what that is when you have the Wanakees, Middletons, Veronas, Monona Groves, but the city of Madison itself and those 5 high schools that make up the city of Madison. We're going to be talking with Austin about that. That'll be coming up next here on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly.
You're listening to Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly, breaking down more from this week in area high school sports next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Played like a pro but felt like an amateur? Twisted your ankle or jammed a finger under the Friday night lights? At Orthopedic and Spine Centers of Wisconsin, their Saturday Sports Injury Clinic has you covered. Skip the emergency room circus, dodge the waiting room sitcom, and get expert care from the pros who actually know sports injuries. Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Walk into their location off the Beltline and get back in the game. Orthopedic and Spine Centers of Wisconsin, your comeback starts here.
The savings are scary good at Metro Kia of Madison this month. Get behind the wheel of a 2026 Kia Sportage for just 1.9% APR for 48 months. Only $21.47 per month per $1,000 finance. Or go electric in the 2025 Kia EV6 with a shocking 0% APR for 72 months. Just $38.89 per thousand finance. But hurry, these frightfully good offers disappear after November 3rd. Visit MetroKiaofMadison.com today.
Buck and Honey's is Best of Madison. A huge thank you to everyone who voted in this year's Best of Madison Awards presented by Madison Magazine. Buck and Honey's is beyond grateful to have won gold for Best Restaurant, Best Catering, Best Outdoor Dining, and Best Bartender with Dion Russ in Monona. We could not do it without our loyal guests who support us every single day, and of course, our amazing team members who celebrate Wisconsin hospitality with pride. From all of us at Buck and Honey's, thank you, and I'll see you at Buck and Honey's.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to best-selling author Shea Serrano. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit condonjeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Not just another game, huh?
This was a big game. And when you're in big games, you play your best. And Jordan Love was special tonight.
Continue reacting to the Packers win right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly continues. I'm Hunter Vaughn, with me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Summerow. We're also brought to you by Pizza Hut, and they deliver a win every time with their big dinner box. Just $19.99. That's 2 medium, 1 topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Feed the whole team for one unbeatable price. Head to one of their locations or online at pizzahut.com today. Feed good times only at Pizza Hut, the official pizza of Prep Mania. In the same way that Pizza Hut delivers a win every time that Austin Battaglia joins us, Dennis, it's a win every time, and that's who joins us now. Austin, thanks for taking the time tonight to join in the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, Austin, we had just announced the all-city team here, the segment before, and your squad for Memorial, you had a few guys make the team, as like one of your linemen, Beckett Schreiber, who is both offense and defense. What does that mean to you as a coach when you have a guy that, you know, all of the coaches here in the city feel strongly enough about on both sides of the ball to make the all-city squad?
Yeah, it's one that, you know, when we're discussing amongst us city coaches and we bring up players, and there's a great respect for guys that are playing both sides of the ball. You know, we look at the film of Ashton Fickle and Beckett Schreiber and Sam Olson, and those guys are flying around it on either side and making big plays, and that's something I know through the recruiting process of Beckett, who's gotten offers from Minnesota and Indiana and is kind of being looked at by some of these Big Ten schools. They really like the fact that he's playing both ways, and it's showing that he's willing to do what it takes for the team to be successful.
Yeah, Coach, we used to have a banquet the Shriners used to put on, and I was a part of that when I was with the Capital Times. And now it's been a few years. I know there's been some talk, but of the schools honoring the players, I know there used to be a trophy for the lineman of the year in the back of the year and the team, and it was pretty good event. Do you think that we'll be able to bring that back someday? I know it's a whole different generation. Things are different now. But what are the chances of having something like that?
Well, I want to first thank both of you for covering the teams and releasing it on your show. But I would love to have it back in person. I think there's a ton of options that we have. We got some amazing new auditoriums throughout all 4 of the public high schools. It could be rotated at the high schools. It could be, we could set up a place. But if we got Dennis Semrau reading off the names, it's a good place to be. And I just delivered the All-City trophy to Madison West. So those trophies are still available and still being updated.
Excellent.
We just need to get them back in the in-person meetings.
So that was one of the things I was going to ask you. As soon as I saw that there was among the list of things the All-City Championship, I right away thought of the service academies and how they have a trophy for all 3 of them as they were playing each other. So I'm so glad that there is a trophy with that, make that an even bigger deal. One of the other things, we didn't talk about it, but the Spirit of the Game Award, where each of the teams has a player that got the Spirit of the Game Award. Could you explain what that is?
Yes, so it's the Nobby Kelleher Spirit of the Game Award, and Nobby Kelleher was very famous Madison area coach, had over 100 wins at Madison East, and that award is going to the athlete that really represents the foundations of what we believe Madison football should be about. Someone that shows up to practice on time, goes above and beyond the call, is in the classroom making a difference. It's one that when we talk about it as coaches and when these are voted upon, we really take time as the coaches to talk about these athletes and about what they represent and why they've impacted and how they've impacted our program. Because I look at some of the names. I'll let you all call them out, but man, they're such great people, and that's really what this award is calling out.
Yeah, Edgewood, River, Julian, East was Wesley Erisman, La Follette, Yarnell Fuller, Memorial Dane Patterson, and West Marcus Allen Jr. And I've been around this long enough to know Nobby Kelleher and having interviewed him and how tough interview he was. He didn't want to talk to the media afterwards. Then he became one of us when he was calling high school football games for a while. But he is a legend in the city, and to be honored, I know when they presented this award when he used to be part of the banquet, it was always a special moment for him that it was named after him. And again, the student athletes, why we do what we do is to promote good students, good citizens, and good representations, of the communities and their schools. So congrats to those 5 guys in particular. Yeah. And then also, you have an all-academic city team, too, which is great to honor. And I know about, 7 of the guys that made offense or defense are also on that. So congrats to the coaches for recognizing the kids above and beyond what they do on the field.
Yeah, and thank you all for being a part of it and recognizing them. It's the city of Madison is really growing in terms of football, and right now Edgewood's still going on, and West was able to go in the playoffs this year, and it's one that we want to continue growing that city of Madison football.
And you guys got close this year. Now in the past, those 4 wins would have put you in, but did you like the transparency more, the matrix, how that worked out?
Yeah, I've been asked a lot. We were the 33rd team, and the top 32 make it. But we knew right away with this new playoff format what needed to happen, and we did appreciate that transparency. It's one that I think that's the right way to go, of understanding what gets you in. People smarter than me can make some decisions on how the matrix can be calculated, and we can continue improving from year to year. But we knew that we had to rely on a few things to go our way, and we just got to make sure we get a couple more wins in our season and put ourselves in that position to be successful.
We're joined by the head coach of Vel Phillips Memorial, Austin Battaglia. You know, Austin, something you mentioned there was the progress that the city high school football in the city of Madison has really taken. I know that's something that a lot of times people talk about, like, oh, city football for Madison isn't that great. You know, what's one of the things, you know, and I don't want to ask you to speak for the other coaches in the city necessarily with this, but what's something that you think that the city itself can do better to help make city football even better than what it already is?
Yeah, there's still a lot of growing that has to happen, and when you look at it from a large perspective, I think, you know, like you said, I don't want to speak for all the city coaches, but it really starts at the youth level, and you see all 5 of these programs are really diving into developing in the youth program. I'll call out Austin Wills at La Follette has really started up a Lancer youth program, and they're playing really competitive ball. Edgewood has started up a youth program as well, and I know West is looking to get that started this year, and East has the MTE program that feeds into their school. So it's one that we look as a long-term vision of, as these kids get more and more experience, and suddenly our freshman teams have guys that have been playing for 2, 3, even 4 years, instead of guys that are learning what a running back and left tackle are.
Is there any conversation, because I just think when I think about something like that and just shooting from the hip here, hypothetical, like the idea of maybe you and Mike Wolfgram at West, because your schools are so close, combining middle school programs or something like that, just to help make those bigger feel. Is there any like conversation about that as ways to just help with those youth programs and help get these kids more and more football before they get to high school?
There hasn't been much. I mean, I'll say from our perspective, we have a team at the 4th, 5th grade level, a team at the 6th grade level, at the 7th grade level, and at the 8th grade level. And they play really competitive football. I was actually just at their banquet and celebrating a great season that they had. We have a great staff of youth coaches, and a great youth director. And it's one that I think it's just the more people in the community that get involved, the kids are there and they want to play, and we just need to give them that access and that ability to really shine and enjoy what they do. And I think that's fully capable at all 4 public schools and at Edgewood as well. And so I think it's just a matter of putting the work in and finding those people that want to be a part of this community and building from the ground up.
Well, Austin, thank you so much for taking the time this evening to join us. And again, congratulations to all the players who made the All-City team.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Again, that was the head coach of Vel Phillips Memorial, Austin Battaglia, joining us here on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly. Yeah, Dennis, it's something you and I talk a lot about, is how can getting the city schools better? Because that, one, it just makes all of the football in the area better. It makes the Big 8 better. It battle tests all the other teams in that conference when it comes to the postseason, and it just helps make football just even bigger and better. And I love that they're doing the all-city teams, and love being able to just make that be as big as we possibly can.
Well, we talked about it when we had the Madison West Middleton game. 3 of the starting linemen for Madison West didn't start playing football until freshman, sophomore year. Mm-hmm. And that's tough going up against kids that have been playing 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. So you need to get the flag football programs to get them the fundamentals, to get them interested in it. So it's about community support, finding ways to be able to grow these programs. And like Austin said, in Memorial's got things. Mike Wolfgram's getting going. Austin Wills on the east side. In East, in Edgewood, again, And all the coaches are working together on this, trying to help build each other's programs because it's for their own benefit. I mean, to have the better competition. And, again, the pandemic really set the city back for 18 months.
Yeah.
And other than Edgewood, which is able to play through it, which is why they're still a strong program, because they were able to build off of that. The others kind of had to go back to the ground one, and we've seen that there's been some struggles. But, again, congrats to the coaches for doing what they do. And again, we need, more youth program, more kids playing at that level. Another thing is now it's not just tackle. You get a good flag football program where they get them and they like the game, And some coaches will say maybe you shouldn't play tackle till 7th or 8th grade. But if you get them exposed 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade in the flag, that's a good start.
It absolutely is. This is Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly. I'm Hunter Vaughn, with me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Sumrow. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to start hour 2 on the Wilde and Tausch clock as it's 8:09 or 8:10 now, and we'll be starting hour 2 of our program. We just had so much to get to. But something was said during the Badgers-Oregon football game on Saturday that got me fired up, got a number of people in the state fired up, and Dennis and I are going to talk about it and react to it coming up next here on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly.
When it comes to your health, do you want to buy something online or do you want to meet with someone local? A local doctor with a family-owned business that cares about you. That's right, you want to meet with Nestor Rodriguez and Ashley Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. You have questions about cryotherapy, red light therapy, hormone replacement treatments, GLP-1s, or you just want to have a great workout. Carbon World Health is there for you. They have a new location in Sun Prairie, and they have their original location in Madison. So when it comes to your health, there's nowhere better to go than Carbon World Health in Madison and now in Sun Prairie.
Hey, this is Hunter. Reveal by Tacticam was created for hunters by hunters. We're the leader in cellular trail cameras, and we're committed to making every hunt smarter, easier, and more rewarding. Whether you're filling your freezer or taking a trophy buck. Head to Tacticam.com to check out the full lineup of cellular trail cameras and power management accessories, and see why thousands of hunters trust Reveal. That's TACTACAM.com.
The team at Midwest Financial Group are values-based financial specialists that offer full-service financial solutions. This local independent firm has been dedicated to helping people achieve their financial, tax, and insurance goals for over 30 years. Visit mfgteam.com to learn more about how they can help set up your future for financial success. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor.
They say punters are people too, especially on KBN. Presented by Bud Light.
They're the doormat of the Big Ten. They're the worst team in the Big Ten. UCLA beating Penn State was the worst thing that could happen for the Wisconsin Badgers, because now if you look at the standings on ESPN.com, what I'm looking at, they're at the bottom, right next to Rutgers and Purdue. And at least Rutgers and Purdue have some, when they play the MAC teams, at least they're beating them by 30 points.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL. Weekdays from 2 to 4 on ESPN Madison.
This is Monte Ball.
Monte steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
The biggest moments.
One man to beat up the right sideline.
See ya, baby.
99-yard touchdown run.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships.
The biggest stories from area high school sports. This is Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly. Alongside the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semro, here's Hunter Vaughn.
Hour 2 of Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly starts now. I'm Hunter Vaughn, with me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Sumrow. And I teased it there as we were going to break, and I want to play some audio from the Badgers-Oregon game on Saturday. So I'll set this up here first. During the broadcast, play-by-play voice Tim Brando for Fox Sports was talking about the Badgers, and he made a comment about recruiting in the state. So, Owen, if you could go ahead and play that.
Noise is out there. And they've been banging on the doors at Camp Randall. A lot of no-shows for home games, and he's aware of it. I mean, it's something that he has mentioned more than just a couple of times this week. And with all these podcasters out there now that want to say, well, the relationships with high school coaches just isn't there anymore. How much do they really, really know? Probably not much.
So, one, from the sense of, I'm approaching this as a fan. This is completely as a Badger fan that I want to approach this. I don't care if Tim Brando's taking shots at us as a program or any of our teammates as a station. That doesn't matter to me. But the idea of you and I, Dennis, have multiple times from multiple different high school head coaches been told that there is not a relationship with Luke Fickell He isn't in the school. He isn't coming to the school. They're not seeing these coaches. I don't know where Tim Brando's getting that information from.
Well, first of all, I don't listen to him. I got Matt LePay and Mark Tauscher on.
Yeah, yes.
Because, and my son goes nuts when he hears, Dad, they always talk bad about the Badgers. We get the same thing in basketball season.
Mm-hmm.
They still think we're back in the Big Dick Bennett days where we score 40 points a game. Come see a Badger basketball game starting this week. But again, we're hearing stuff from coaches that just not the connection. And all you got to do is take a look at the top 20 players in the state, where some of these guys are going to. Indiana, Bostad's over there now. He's taking guys out of there. Joe Rudolph's at Notre Dame. The best, one of the best in the state is going to Minnesota. Number one, Gavin Meyer from Parker. Talked to John Berry at WCLO about that. Why is he going to Minnesota? Why isn't he here? Well, we got number 4. That's Ben Wenzel from Appleton North is committed, but of the top 20 players, he's the only commit from Wisconsin. So Barry Alvarez, if he was dead, he'd be rolling over in his grave right now going, where's that wall around the state? What's going on here? And it starts with the connections. We have, other than Texas, again, Texas football is a whole different animal, different planet.
Yeah.
That's the best, the Coaches Association. The Coaches Association we have in Wisconsin, bar none, can beat anybody. How many thousands of coaches come here for it? It's hosted at Wisconsin. And you have to have that connection from the college program. We've got it with the WIAC. How many of those players stay in, and why is the WIAC one of the best Division III conferences in the country? Why? Mm-hmm. A lot of Wisconsin kids in there.
Well, and I'm glad you mentioned that conference, because one of the things that I thought was really telling that a coach told us about was how impressed he was with the way that those schools recruit. And I'm not going to name names, but they said those schools, they call ahead. They say, hey, I want to talk to a couple of your players. Can you give us some space? I'm going to be down on Thursday if they call on a Monday. So they have that heads up, that level of relationship. They talk to the coaches. They have that conversation then, too, that happens with every single one of these top 20 recruits, too, about, is this kid actually a fit for our school? Right. Not from does he fit with our football program? Does he fit with our school? Is this a school where he can go and he can be successful? And that's the thing that I think is so important with this, too, is the idea of you need guys who are going to fit with Wisconsin, guys that want to be at Wisconsin. The only way you're going to find that and you're going to figure that out is having a relationship with the guys that are with them all the time, and that's their high school coaches. This isn't about, I think that these high school coaches should be more important than they are. This isn't about the high school coaches thinking that they're more important than what they are. This is about the guys that spend the time with these high school players every single day and know what they are as a player and as a student athlete, and that's where that relationship needs to be. You want to win over a high school recruit? Win over his coach. It's not that difficult.
Well, and see, this is what I don't understand. The first year of this program, I heard that coaches, Pat Rice talked about that at Wanakee. We had 3 and 4 coaches were showing up, and it wasn't just one guy. It was 2 or 3 other ones from the staff. They were really doing it. But somehow there's been a disconnect that they're going more for out of state. And when you look at the top players, we went through the top 10, how many of those are offensive linemen that used to stay here? Why is the offensive line struggling so much? Well, they decided some different schemes, which obviously did not work the last 2 years, turned away some of those linemen. Once you let somebody in the door, once you let the wolf in, he's not going away. So now Indiana, we're fair game. Notre Dame, we're fair game. Minnesota, Iowa, we've always had a battle. Illinois, one of the best linemen out in Stoughton is at Illinois. We're not going to see him. He's probably going to redshirt as a freshman. The starting center for Ohio State was from St. Croix Central. It was to see these guys playing for other teams. Yeah, some are going to leave, and you can say, NIL and whatever. But if you have a program and these kids have grown up around it, there's going to be a little bit more loyalty. The Catalano, we saw that. From Germantown, we talked about him and talked to his coach about that. It just, and it's a case of being there. If they don't have a player, but when they do have a player, then the coach will call and say, hey, I got a guy for you. Thanks for coming in. Are they doing enough of that? I don't know. It's hard to say. Some coaches are telling us, no, they aren't.
Yeah, and it hasn't really, I think, been some. It's been multiple coaches that we've talked to about this where they said, like, yeah, we don't hear from these guys. We don't see these guys around anymore. And I think about a player like Matthew O'Grady, who we've talked a lot about. He's the quarterback for Lake Geneva Badger. He's going to Army to play quarterback. Now, we've never talked to Matthew or anything like that, but as a hypothetical, he is a quarterback for a wishbone offense. He's running the triple option. That's the exact type of kid who would have gone to Wisconsin, and he would have done, I think, one of three things while at Wisconsin. He would have either pulled a Jared Abbrederis and moved from quarterback over to wide receiver. Jared won a state championship at Wautoma High School as a quarterback and then moved to wide receiver, was one of the best wide receivers this university has ever had. 2, he would have pulled a Zach Bond. Played quarterback in high school. They move him over to linebacker. He puts on 30 pounds of muscle, kept the speed that he had as a quarterback. He's playing on Sundays in the NFL and one of the better linebackers in the NFL. Third option, he moves back to safety. He's kind of like a Hunter Wooler type of player, that hybrid sort of guy, and he's still playing on defense. These guys don't have to come into Wisconsin and play the same position that they played in high school. Go get the guys. This is something I heard Kurt Signetti talk about at Indiana. He's like, I don't care about the talent. I want the guys that want to be here and are going to work at being here at Indiana. That's what Wisconsin needs. I think they have it in guys like Mason Posa and Cooper Catalano, like you talked about. They've got to get it other places. There is no reason that the Wisconsin Badgers should be losing recruits to Indiana or Minnesota when they are offensive linemen and they're the top players in this state. That's inexcusable at any time, and it comes back to you need to have the relationships in these high schools because those are then the coaches that are going to talk positively about that program as those kids are going through their youth program. We've just talked about how important the youth program here is for the city schools. It's also important for these college coaches to have a good relationship with the people running these youth programs. Well, this is so important for Luke Fickell and the Badgers, and they're failing miserably at it.
Well, also we want the college coaches to make our high school coaches and programs better. Because the better those programs are, they come here, that's going to help them. Mm-hmm. Barry talked about that in his show, which I thought was a very, very good point, that the stronger the football is, and that comes back to that coaches clinic, which is here, and the connections. Mm-hmm. And, between football and basketball, we've got two really good, outstanding coaching organizations. And you've seen the difference in basketball. Wisconsin, Minnesota. We recruit out of Minnesota. That's okay. But how many Division I players the state is producing in basketball? And basketball is a different sport. You only can play so many versus the football. But so you want to get one or two. But this year they got Garlock out of Wisconsin and Kinzinger out of Wisconsin, two of the best players that they thought in that class. And now they've got like 5 of the classes coming up here in 2 years.
Yes, and also for those, because I can just sense it now, people, when you talk about basketball, they're going to say, oh, well, what about Xavion Mitchell, Oshkosh North? He's going to Iowa State. Tyrese Halliburton, Oshkosh North, going to Iowa State. I think you're seeing a trend on what Iowa State is able to do because they have a relationship with that high school. Yeah. And that's what's so important about this. You build the relationship, which Greg Gard is doing on the basketball side. I don't see Luke Fickell doing it. And that's my concerning thing. That's why it's so frustrating when I hear somebody on a national level trying to just say that, what does anybody else know? We're hearing it from the coaches. Our teammate Brad Nortman is hearing it from coaches from the Milwaukee area too. This isn't just a exclusive to Madison situation. This is a across the state. They're not doing enough to build the relationships with the coaches. We want to see them succeed. This is a big part of doing it. It's what made Barry successful. It's what made Brett Bielema successful here. It's what made Paul Christ initially successful with this school. Then he kind of fell off on some things, and there was some other stuff there. But that's what was going on with that, and that's where I think this program really needs to go. Wanted to talk some college football here. I'm fired up about it because it drives me crazy when we're told that, oh, no, they're doing these things.
Hey,
no, they're not.
It's not a good day unless you have a Rutledge rant, right?
Yes,
That's
exactly.
Jim, Matt, and Molly.
We're going to talk to one high school coach Coming up next, it'll be Brandon Beckwith of Monona Grove High School, as they'll be hosting Germantown coming up here on Friday for our game of the week in level 2 of the playoffs. This is Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly.
You're listening to Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly, breaking down more from this week in area high school sports next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Planning a corporate event, private party, or team outing? Madison acts as your state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Whoa, you nailed it! Featuring 8 lanes of axe throwing, craft beer, and interactive games, plus digital target projection and scoring. For even more fun, check out their indoor backyard. 2,000 square feet of shuffleboard, cornhole, yard games, bar table games, and more. Book your corporate event or holiday party now, before their lanes fill up. Go to MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Are you living with hip pain? Join Stoughton Health's Ortho Team Clinic for a free online talk with orthopedic surgeon Dr. Joseph Henningsen. He'll discuss the causes of hip pain and share both surgical and non-surgical treatment options to help you find relief and get back to an active lifestyle. The session will be held Tuesday, October 28th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Register today at stoughtonhealth.com under classes and events. Don't miss this opportunity to take the first step toward relief.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
To help those who want to be helped but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
At Siding Unlimited, we're really excited for the fall season. Not only are we proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, we are also fired up for an exciting fall season cheering on football and volleyball. If that's not enough, we're really excited to share with you that Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's best window and door installation team. Siding Unlimited is a Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award winner 5 times. Looking for new windows and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
What's better than cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand? Cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand that you got for 10% off. And when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank, you get even more. Like 10% off food and 10% off drinks on game day. Like that ice-cold beer in your hand. Plus 15% off Pro Shop gear. Only with Packers checking. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
We're on the Badgers.
No one fears the Badgers for sure. No one respects the Badgers.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
Right now, everyone just pities the Badgers.
This is 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly continues. We'll have another one of our coaches now as we talk to Brandon Beckwith of Monona Grove High School as he gets ready to take on Germantown for their Level 2 game. We're now joined by the head coach of the Monona Grove Silver Eagles, Brandon Beckwith. Brandon, thank you for taking the time tonight and joining the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Now, Brandon, this is the third time now through the season that Dennis and I have talked to you. We had you on for our coaches roundtable at the start of the year. Then we had you in right around the middle of the season before you guys played DeForest. And now we're heading into Level 2 after you had a 39-8 win over Brookfield Central in Level 1. I know a term that a lot of coaches and even in the media we kind of talk about of the idea of, your team is peaking at the right time. You came into the playoffs having 3 consecutive shutouts as a team. Do you feel like your team's playing its best football here as you've gotten into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, the goal from the beginning is obviously is to get better every week, and we literally talk about it on a daily basis. We talk about it every week. Just had a meeting with our guys today about Level 2 of the playoffs and about some improvements that need to be made this week and every day how we can make improvements and never be satisfied, never feel like you've arrived. But yeah, I mean, obviously, particularly defensively, we're doing some really great things right now, and offensively we're still putting points on the board. So, and our special teams is coming around as well too. So yeah, I mean, it's trending, it's going in the right direction. Let's put it that way. So hopefully we have some good things to come.
I know coming into the season defensively, that's what we're looking at. You could kind of hang your hat on, and you got a sophomore quarterback. You had some skilled players who had some injuries on the offensive side, but you want to talk about how important that defense has been. And you look at a couple of guys, D'Lo Clay, and we're just impressed with Nick Gallagher. I mean, those just the start of your linebackers have really taken us some steps up. And I guess for you, what's been the most rewarding part of watching that defense week in and week out?
Yeah, I mean, honestly it's a total team effort, with 11 guys on D, but it obviously starts up front. We talk about it in day one, and we're lucky with, guys like Nick Gallagher and D'Lo to lead that charge. The rest of our D line is solid and really good. Guys like Nick Gallagher has had a great senior year. I mean, he's a special football player. He's done everything we've asked. He's playing both ways all the time, and he's a guy that hopefully people take notice of. He's earned it, and D'Lo Clay, particularly him. He earns everything he gets. He works his tail off day in and day out. He's a great leader, and so up front, we go how those guys go, and then there's a lot of other good guys that are stepping up as well too, and then like you said, yeah, you move back to the second level with all our linebackers that are maybe a little undersized for some standards, but they bring it, and then our secondary guys are flying around and making plays. So when you got all 11 moving in the same direction, I think that's what we hang our hat on.
Well, and then on the offensive side, you talk about it being a team effort with the defense, but your offense too, you have 4 guys who have double-digit receptions here on the season. How easy does that make things from a coaching perspective and even like from play calling for your guys on offense when you have 4 guys that it feels like you can really kind of go at or use in your passing game and offensively?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look back at some of your best teams, you're not star-oriented, I think, so when we got guys that we can spread the ball around to, we have guys that step up and like receivers that that might be their night one night and might be somebody else's night another night, and a running back room is really solid from top down. We've played a lot of different running backs, and all of them are capable and have stepped up in their own ways when we needed them to. And obviously, our quarterback as a sophomore, is come into his own, and he's a gamer. And then obviously it sure helps to have our linemen up front that are, have been solid all year long and really driving our offense forward.
You mentioned, Gallagher, starting to tackle, and then another guy, 6'5", 295 pounds, guard Jackson Fassel. Obviously he's got to be an intimidating presence on the field.
Yeah, you talk about a guy that, this is his first year starting. He just stuck with it and worked hard in the off season, and then kind of waited his turn, and his growth into this season because of all the things that he did in the off season or as a junior, just learning and wanting to be one of those Monona Grove offensive linemen, and so proud of him and the steps he's made in a growth type of way, and he's really a good football player.
Taking a look at Germantown, what do you see? We talked earlier, it's going to be a physical game. We just know these two teams like to hit and fly at each other. And what do you know about them at this point? What are going to be some of the keys against them?
Yeah, I mean, I look at them. They got obviously some big dudes, and they fly around to the football on defense, and they love to bring it, kind of like we do. And on offensive side of the ball, they'll run the football, but they have playmakers all over too as well. So they're here because they're multidimensional and as well as they obviously are a well coached team that is worthy of just as we are of being a level two qualifier, and it's going to be a physical football game, and it's going to come down to the basics of tackling and blocking and making football plays.
We're joined by the head coach of the Monona Grove Silver Eagles, Brandon Beckwith, here on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly. Now, Brandon, you mentioned your starting quarterback this year as a sophomore, Jackson Zukowski. He's only turned the ball over 3 times with 3 interceptions on the season, but he's also then thrown for 14 passing touchdowns as well as ran it in for 5 rushing touchdowns. When you have a young quarterback, is this something where you've had to tell him, like, hey, just take care of the football and that's like your main focus, or is that something he's just naturally been able to not turn the ball over this year?
We stress that all across the board all the time, on our offensively. And and he's done a great job. I mean, he's a playmaker. In games, he extends plays, and at times you cross your fingers, but then he usually makes the right decision. And he's not afraid to tuck the ball and run when he needs to, and he holds the ball, enough for enough time to find an open guy and try to make the right decision. He's a multi-sport athlete that understands, and has fun playing the game. While he's out there, you can just see it that all of his experiences in multiple sports, when you're doing that, it's, sometimes the game slows down a little bit for you because you're just a gamer type of guy.
And having a home game, how cool is that? You get to host again second week. And how your fans, you got a message out there about bringing it, for the Silver Eagles on Friday night?
Yeah, I mean, our fan base has been great all year. Our Monona Grove fans support, our student section, everybody's been awesome. Worry a little bit because it's Halloween, and it's a cool night, and obviously, kids going to do some trick or treating, especially at the younger levels, and our fan base is lucky because we have an AV club at Monona Grove that does a phenomenal job doing some games for us and stuff. So sometimes the easy way is to sit home after a long night of trick-or-treating. But man, I hope they come out and hope they're loud. And because when Monona Grove's got a full capacity, which we've had this year, it's a pretty special place to play.
It'd be an interesting apparel at the stands, people wearing costumes and stuff. So I'm sure that'll add a little bit of excitement to the crowd.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those types of nights, I guess.
Now, something you said at the beginning of this interview that I want to circle back to, you had mentioned that, you feel like your special teams is really starting to come along, but, I'm looking at the stats again, and your special teams unit, you've had 2 kick returns for a touchdown, and you guys have taken a punt return back. How much more can your special teams really get better if you've scored 3 touchdowns in the season with them?
Yeah, obviously we take a lot of pride in that, in our special teams. And, and ironically, kickers, are just getting better and better and better. So it's like the guys we face at the opponents, too many guys are kicking in the end zone against us now. So, I wish they weren't as good to do that. But, we take advantage of every opportunity we get and make sure we are totally, knowing that is an integral part of our game, and just like defending kickoffs and just like defending punts and everything. So it's another aspect of the game, and we believe in momentum, and we need to get it back. It's kind of an opportunity that we try to take pride in.
Now, one last one here for you, Brandon. I always like to ask this of coaches, especially because, you're coaching teenagers. These are high schoolers. Any conversation or any chance of your guys kind of looking ahead as there's a potential of playing, a historic program like Homestead in the next level, or even potentially seeing West De Pere down the road? Any look ahead from your guys at all, or are they focused here on this week in Germantown?
No, I don't think there's obviously looking ahead, but they know that the task is in hand, and like the last few weeks, we talked about that many times, that, and I think it comes back to just growing as guys and what you got in front of you and how are you going to handle, you can only control the controllables, and that's what you do on a football field. And we love our guys, and we're not afraid to tell them and love them up, but also, and get them move them in the right direction as well, at times. And, but I've been really proud of how they come to practice and grind and know that, they have their goals, believe me, their ultimate goals, but they know, it takes steps to get there as well.
Awesome. Thank you again, Brandon, for the time, and good luck on Friday night against Germantown.
Hey, appreciate you guys and all you guys do as well. Hopefully, I know you said this is the third time we talk. Hopefully we talk again.
Well, we've been unveiling where we're going to go for each level, and we were just talking about look ahead. But if I'm going to tease something, maybe if you guys pull off the W, we might be seeing you again the following week. Can't promise anything, but that might be what we're doing.
I appreciate you guys.
Read between the lines,
yeah.
In other words. Well, good luck, Brandon. Thank you very much for the time.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Again, that was the head coach of the Monona Grove Silver Eagles, Brandon Beckwith, joining us on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly. We're also brought to you by WIAA Remodeling. If you're dreaming of transforming your home into the space you've always wanted, WIAA Remodeling makes it happen, and their expert team is there to bring your vision to life. They're local, reliable, and dedicated to quality craftsmanship. Schedule a free consultation today at WIAAremodeling.com. We've got another break here on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly, and then we'll be hearing from the Student Athlete of the Week here on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly.
More of Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly coming up next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
I was really anxious about college and felt overwhelmed at choosing one. But I'm so glad I didn't let that stop me. One tour of Madison College campus was all it took. The campus environment is amazing, so welcoming and friendly, and everyone is really supportive. My advice? See this campus for yourself. There's more to your story at Madison College.
Visit madisoncollege.edu to get started.
Played like a pro but felt like an amateur? Twisted your ankle or jammed a finger under the Friday night lights? At Orthopedic and Spine Centers of Wisconsin, their Saturday Sports Injury Clinic has you covered. Skip the emergency room circus, dodge the waiting room sitcom, and get expert care from the pros who actually know sports injuries. Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Walk into their location off the Beltline and get back in the game. Orthopedic and Spine Centers of Wisconsin, your comeback starts here.
The puck drops at the Kohl Center this month, Badger fans. Wisconsin men's hockey returns to the ice for the 2025-2026 season, geared with grit and hungry for glory. Coach Mike Hastings and the Badgers are building on last year's success, and the time to secure your spot is now. Single game, mini pack, and group tickets are moving fast. Don't wait. Visit uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS to lock in your seats today.
Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN. Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Ford and Metro Kia of Madison. Find the Metro family of auto dealers online or see them in person on the east side of Madison today.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, a special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
They say punters are people too, especially on KBN. Presented by Bud Light.
They're the doormat of the Big Ten. They're the worst team in the Big Ten. UCLA beating Penn State was the worst thing that could happen for the Wisconsin Badgers, because now if you look at the standings on ESPN.com, what I'm looking at, they're at the bottom right next to Rutgers and Purdue. And at least Rutgers and Purdue have some, when they play the MAC teams, at least they're beating them by 30 points.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL. Weekdays from 2 to 4 on ESPN Madison.
Starion Bank redefines local banking in Madison. As a community bank with a commitment to Dane County, experience a banking relationship where your goals are our priority. Enjoy competitive deposit and loan rates and a partnership that thrives on local engagement and support. Starion Bank is more than a full-service financial institution. It's a community pillar dedicated to your prosperity. Visit one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, offering banking, lending, mortgage, and cash management.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
This is Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly. I'm Hunter Vaughn. With me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Summerall. We're also brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. They have a reputation for winning. Their experienced, powerful team works tirelessly to help people and families seriously injured in an accident by providing the best care and service. There is never a fee until they win your case. Gruber Law Offices has been serving the people and state of Wisconsin for over 35 years. One call, Dennis.
That's all.
That's right. It's now time to hear from our UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week. This week, we head up to Sun Prairie East, where the Dean talked to Van Vogler of Sun Prairie East.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Van Vogler, Sun Prairie East High School. You came in right when the school split. What was that like?
It was very challenging with seeing a lot of my friends on the other side of the town, but we still have a lot of great players over here. Great coaching with every single sport, and I think I handled it pretty well.
You got a conference championship last year.
Yeah.
And sectional final. But baseball, you've been to state twice in baseball. What's that like going up to Appleton where the Baby Brewers play?
Yeah. It's always very cool going up to Appleton. Just making those deep runs in the playoffs. They're always really fun, a lot of emotion, and you just have a great town in Sun Prairie you're playing behind, so it's just great to have a great community behind you.
You're part of the leadership team, was it Cardinal leadership team?
Yeah.
And what other things are you involved in school?
In school, sports, so CLT, not really too much outside of that.
But you've been decided to be a referee for basketball. Being a player, what's it like now on the court, and you see things a little differently?
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of hard to catch everything, especially like with 3-on-3 things. Like when it's just yourself with little kids, it's kind of hard to catch every little ticky-tacky thing. So you have to respect the refs just because they can't catch everything.
You ever done any baseball?
Yeah, I have quite a bit.
When you look back in your time at Sun Prairie, what do you remember the most about this community and the school?
I think really my sophomore year, because that's really when I got put on the varsity role, and like playing as a sophomore on varsity was just a really special time for me, because it was just a lot of memories with players I love playing with the upperclassmen, like Connor Soft's class, and then Max Raymer's class. Especially for football, it was just a blast, and we made it to round 4. Fortunately, we didn't win that one and lost to the state champs, but it was just a really special season. And then with baseball, made it to the state championship, and then fortunately lost at the end, but they're just really stacked teams, just with a lot of talent and a lot of players who were bought in.
But your favorite athlete was a baseball player?
I would have to say Ronald Acuna Jr. He plays with a lot of energy, a lot of emotion, and just crazy athletic, crazy skilled, and it's just very fun to play. They're very fun to watch.
Well, I hope you have a great senior year. And this is Van Vogler from Sun Prairie East High School, our UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week. Go Cardinals, huh?
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Again, that was our UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Van Vogler from Sun Prairie East High School. We've got one more segment left on the show. We'll have our Prep Mania on deck, where Dennis and I look ahead to some events going on or some other games going on in the area that we are going to be keeping our eyes on. Maybe it's a football game, maybe it's cross country or swimming or something else like that. If you have one, drop it in the YouTube chat or text in at 844-770-3776. If there's a team or a game that you think Dennis and I should talk about to wrap up the show, and we'll talk about it. We're also brought to you by Pizza Hut, and they deliver a win every time with the big dinner box. Just $19.99. That's 2 medium, 1 topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Feed the whole team for one unbeatable price. Head to one of their locations or online at pizzahut.com today. Feed good times. Only at Pizza Hut, the official pizza of Prep Mania. Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania on deck is next here on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly.
You're listening to Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly, breaking down more from this week in area high school sports next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
When it comes to your health, do you want to buy something online or do you want to meet with someone local? A local doctor with a family-owned business that cares about you. That's right, you want to meet with Nestor Rodriguez and Ashley Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. You have questions about cryotherapy, red light therapy, hormone replacement treatments, GLP-1s, or you just want to have a great workout. Carbon World Health is there for you. They have a new location in Sun Prairie, and they have their original location in Madison. So when it comes to your health, there's nowhere better to go than Carbon World Health in Madison and now in Sun Prairie.
Planning a corporate event, private party, or team outing? Madison Axe is your state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Whoa, you nailed it! Featuring 8 lanes of axe throwing, craft beer, and interactive games, plus digital target projection and scoring. For even more fun, check out their indoor backyard. 2,000 square feet of shuffleboard, cornhole, yard games, bar table games, and more. Book your corporate event or holiday party now, before their lanes fill up. Go to MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973. They're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and lease a 2026 Honda CR-V Hybrid Trail Sport for as low as $349 per month. Or browse their vehicle selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns, it's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we create strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. We've invested heavily in client-friendly software so your assets and plan progress are available to view in one place at any time. Whether you prefer only the high-level information or enjoy the intricate details of the planning process, we've got you covered. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
When the leaves start to fall and your roof starts to call, fix it in the fall, fix it in the fall. If your shingle's looking rough and your gutter's full of stuff, get it fixed before it's froze, man. It's time to call the pro. We patch it, we match it, we stop that drip. Free estimates, quick fix, don't let your roof slip. Your home's your castle, we keep it tight. Call Avondale Roofing, they roof it right. Fall deals dropping it like it's hot. Call Avondale Roofing at 855-819-7663.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? For a limited time at TPC Wisconsin, enjoy full golf privileges and all club amenities without full dues. Pay just $150 per month through March to maintain your full golf membership with no golf dues until April 1st. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Schedule a tour or submit a membership inquiry at tpcwisconsin.com and start enjoying the private golf club experience you deserve. That's tpcwisconsin.com.
We're on the Badgers.
And the guys that played today wanted to play.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
Played with their hair. They looked like they wanted to be Wisconsin Badgers. They were proud to carry that Motion W.
This is 100.5 ESPN.
Wrapping up Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly, I'm Hunter Vaughn. With me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Sumrow. And it's time for our Prep Mania on Deck segment. But before we get to that, I got to tell you about Madison College. They've been around for over 100 years right here in our community. They've grown to 7 campuses all across South Central Wisconsin, including 3 in Madison. Whether you're starting fresh or leveling up your career, Madison College is here for you. Learn more at madisoncollege.edu. That's madisoncollege.edu. My pick this week for Prep Mania on Deck, the 3-seed Middleton Cardinals going to Lake Geneva to take on the 2-seed Lake Geneva Badgers. That's a huge opportunity for Middleton. Would love to be able to see our Middleton Cardinals get an upset over a team that has a chance to make a run at Camp Randall here in Badger. It's a great opportunity for them, and they've got a battle of 2 great quarterbacks in that game. Also, Dennis, we had a comment from Colton on the Daily Dodge YouTube chat. You can watch us on either the ESPN Madison or Daily Dodge YouTubes. Colton said instead of the Monona Grove Germantown game, he thought we should have gone and done the Whitefish Bay Port Washington game. Huge rivalry game. You're from that area, Dennis.
Yeah.
That is a big rivalry.
I was Fredonia, so I know about Port Washington, but Whitefish Bay 8 seed, upset New Berlin West 4-6 against Port Washington 7-3. Throughout the records, it's a rivalry game.
Yep, and then Dennis, real quick, what's your pick this week?
State cross country boys race up in Wisconsin Rapids. Division 3 starts at noon. Girls Division 3, and then the girls Division 3 starts at 1:45. So they go 3-2-1 boys, 3-2-1 girls. Lucas Tanner from DeForest and Olivia Schellevold from Middleton won the sectional I was at last Saturday, and 4 teams in that one sectional are in the top 10. So I'll look at who made it, Madison West and DeForest, the 2 boys teams, and Middleton unranked girls go Cardinals.
Nice. Awesome. So a ton of runners competing at state. That does it for Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly. Thank you to our producer, Owen Dimful. Thank you to the Dean, Dennis Summerow, as well as all of our guests, Austin Battaglia, as well as Jake Davis from Germantown, Brandon Beckwith, the head coach of Monona Grove. Please don't forget, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That way then anytime we go live, you get notified of it for all of our high school sports coverage. We really appreciate it. We'll be back next week reacting to Level 2 as well as previewing and announcing our Level 3 game. That does it for Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania Weekly here on ESPN Madison and Daily Dodge.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill